Hey, Carnivore Hunters, this is Doug.
And this is Rick. We have a special guest today. We wanted to introduce you guys to. This is this is well, actually, Gene, I'll just let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Gene Gautreaux, and I work with Rick, so that's how I know Rick.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it would be interesting to get a perspective from somebody you don't typically see on YouTube. Um, and so, why don't you tell everybody, Gene, how you got started on Carnivore?
Okay. Well, I saw you at work. I was a little stunned, to put it honestly. I had gone out for a knee replacement. I hadn't been there for almost 4 months. And then I ran into you and I was completely shocked. And this whole time, my wife and I have been looking for something to change where we're at in life, try and get down in weight and stuff like that. So when I saw your results, I was like, man, I could do that. I can do anything anybody else can do. So
Right.
we jumped right into it, and it was amazing. I mean, I'm completely blown away on how I feel, how it's changed my life. I was diabetic, and I was at A1C of 8.2. It's after 90 days, it was 6.2. So
Nice.
it's going down. I had heartburn, that's gone.
Yep.
Eczema, that's gone. What's funny is the asthma's gone.
Oh,
I haven't had any of that at all. And I'm down about 42 pounds right now. So, and
nice.
my wife's down 20.
And how long have you guys been?
About 104 days.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, I remember running into you at work and talking about it. And what kind of improvements has your wife seen?
So my wife has arthritis, really bad, and she was prone to migraines, and the arthritis has improved, incredibly. I mean, she used to have constant pain in her hands, her wrists, things like that, and she just spent a week in California. What's funny is she still has a little bit of pain here and there, but it's gone down a lot. Well, when she was in California, I don't know if it was the warmer weather or whatever, but she didn't have any pain while she was there. So she was excited about that. And all of her migraines have stopped. So she was taking shots, giving herself shots for migraines, and she hasn't taken one since we started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
It's amazing. I mean, I feel incredible. And I would love to be able to talk a lot more people into doing this because the difference is amazing to me.
Well, it sounds like you've talked a lot of people into it from what Rick was telling me.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of people. Well, a lot of people, this is like 18 people that I've talked to. And I know a lot of them are doing it. A lot of them saw the results that I had. I showed them before and after pictures and stuff like that. And it's noticeable. And I feel great. I'm down pant sizes. And I mean, I'm working out. It's really helped my knee because I just had a knee replaced. I have to have the other one replaced in October. So this is going to help out tremendously. It's taken a lot of inflammation down in my legs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I got Rick onto it. He got you onto it. You got 18 more people. If this was an MLM, I definitely have a Cadillac right now.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. Like I said, when people see you, they see the difference, and they see how you feel and how you look. And we follow a lot of people on YouTube, Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Sean Baker, the Steak and Butter gal, Lauren Knight Hughes, different people like that. We get into their videos and they helped out a lot.
Yeah.
So, and then we bought a half a beef. So that helps too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Is from a local rancher in your area, I assume, or?
Yeah, from Alt, Colorado. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, very good meat.
Oh, is that the Double J or something like that?
It's Dallas Schilling. I don't know what his ranch is called, but one of the guys I work with, his kids go to school together, so that's how I got onto that. But it's very good beef. And then they process it at Atlas Meat Company in Fort Collins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I know you do some bird hunting. Do you do big game as well?
I do. Yeah, I do a lot. Yeah.
So how much deer or elk? How much do you have in the freezer with that? And how have you changed the way you prepare that?
So normally I would have a lot, but because of my knees, I didn't hunt last year or the year before. So in 2020, I had a cabin in the mountains, and we hunted there for years, and it was great. And we had deer and elk all the time. And in 2020, I sold it. So going from private to public is a big shocker. It's I mean, I'm in Wyoming. I live in Wyoming and stuff like that. And there's times where I've pulled up to an area that I'm going to get out a public land, and I've had people pull right up next to me and go, "See anything?" And I'm like, "Wow."
Yeah.
I just got out of the truck.
Right.
So it's been a little different. So we don't have much left in wild game right now. But yeah, I bird hunt, turkey hunt, deer, elk, all that stuff, moose, bear.
So obviously, it's a lot leaner meat.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to start adding more fat to it? And how would you do that?
We already did. So we have a grinder and stuff like that. And we always put bacon bits and fat in there. So you go to the like Safeway and stuff, and they'll give it to you. You buy it, obviously, but then you put it in. Mm-hmm. So we've always done that with the burgers. And it's delicious. I love it. So, but the cow, man, I mean, I'm enjoying that quite a bit. That is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
We haven't, since we've been on this, we really haven't eaten much chicken or lamb or anything like that. It's pretty much stuck to the beef, and then we have halibut and salmon because I go fishing in Alaska every year, so I've got a bunch of halibut and salmon, nice. And shrimp and stuff like that. So,
what part of Alaska do you go fishing in?
Seward.
Okay. I used to live in Sitka, so.
Oh yeah. My son has a fishing company in Seward. It's called the Snaggin' Wagon, where you go there and catch salmon and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
No.
We'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
A Snaggin' Wagon. I'm writing that down.
Yep.
Does he have a website and everything?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And he knows everybody, so I get to go halibut fishing with some of the guys and stuff. So it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Have you ever tried the rockfish, Alaska?
I haven't.
I've been one of my favorites.
Really?
A lot of locals in Sitka will say that they prefer rockfish over salmon even.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. When we were bear hunting, we caught a bunch of rockfish because we were on a boat, spot and stock type of bear hunt. And I don't remember if I had any of the rockfish. It doesn't stand out. We were crabbing so much that we were eating crab pretty much every night. So
right.
That was nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked for a cruise line up there, and there was always a plethora of fresh seafood to get a hold of. It was nice.
I'm not finding the Snaggin' Wagon on
no?
here.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
Well, not to get too off topic from the carnivore, but we have another segment that we've done with our channel here that we call Hunting Confessions.
Right.
Do you have any crazy stories or just really interesting stories that you could share from
with hunting?
Yeah.
Let me think about that. I do a lot of long range shooting too. So I'm on the board of directors for the local range, and we run a match every month. We do a lot of that. So a couple years ago at my cabin, me and a buddy went out and we spotted elk at 1,007 yards, and my buddy shot his bull at 1,007 yards and dropped it in his tracks.
Wow. 308?
Yeah, 308. It was pretty
Wow.
amazing.
That's
It was
really
amazing. We were lucky that my son was there with us because we could only drive about 400 yards to the animal after we shot it. And I carried the head. My son carried 3 legs, and my buddy carried a leg. And if my son wasn't there, we would have really struggled getting him out.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
it was a long hike.
How about any oh shit moments where, you know, it's like, I can't believe I just watched somebody do that?
I'll think about that. You know, owning private land and stuff, there were a lot of people who tried to sneak on the property a lot. And there were people who would, you know, steal your game cameras or steal your water from your water tank. Just a lot of stupid things. You know, I've seen guys shoot at a deer and have to shoot like 6 or 7 times to get one, which is pretty sad.
Yeah.
Things like that, you know. But I don't know. All the hunts that we've been on, it's been great. You know, I shot a pretty good sized black bear in Alaska on a place called Kupernoff Island, which is in between Juneau and Petersburg, and that was a fantastic trip. And we went bear hunting a few times in Alaska. It's been great. Alaska's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't been, you gotta. So
I have not been. I need to get up there sometime.
Yeah.
So
it's a blast. But no, I mean, I guess I have one story that's kind of funny. I had a coworker who wanted to go deer hunting, and he wasn't really into guns or hunting or anything like that, but he really wanted to meet. And so we went and we got a doe. It was a second tag, you know, like a doe tag. We got this doe, and we hung it up, and you know, we were there for, I don't know, another 3 days or something like that. And then on the way home, he was having tire trouble. And so I wasn't, you know, I was staying with them. Like, you know, I was in front of him, but I was, you know, hanging with him. And then every, like, I don't know, like every 45 minutes, we were at a place called Yellow Jacket Pass. So we were a long ways from Denver, Colorado. And he would just pull off the side of the road. And I would pull off the side of the road, like, where is this guy? And what he would do is he was nervous that the sun was shining in his vehicle. So he would move the deer to the other side of the vehicle so the sun wouldn't shine on it. And he kept doing it the whole way home. And we had like a 5-hour drive, and he kept pulling over because he had a station wagon. He had the deer in the station wagon, and he kept moving it from side to side where the sun was shining, which I thought was a pretty silly story.
Yeah. We have quite a haul too from where Doug and I hunt, and it's a long ways. And so a little trick we do is we get a bag of ice and stick it up in the cavity, and sometimes 2 bags of ice, you know, depending how big the animal is. And that does the trick pretty well.
Right.
So
yeah. But most of the time it's pretty easy. I have a picture. I don't have it available, but where I live, I have 7.5 acres, and I have a yard full of antelope. You know, I always have, I don't know, 25 to 200 antelope in my backyard.
Right.
And I was out there skinning an antelope, and my wife was in the kitchen, and she took a picture of me skinning the antelope, and on the side of the barn was a buck looking at me while I was skinning the doe.
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't notice him, but he was only like about 10 feet away from me, sneaking around the corner of the barn watching me skin this doe. So that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
You know.
So I was just going to ask you something. But how is this a lifelong thing for you now, the carnivore lifestyle, or
100%? We're not changing. No. It just, you know what? It's amazing. I mean, it's really amazing the way I feel the way my wife feels, it's changed our life, and we'll never go back. There's no way. Yeah. Do we like ice cream or a candy bar or something like that, like everybody else? Sure. But I'm not into cheating at all. The only thing that I do that some people might go, oh, you shouldn't do that, is I drink coffee, and I can't help myself. I like my coffee.
Yeah.
But other than that, we haven't had anything, no sweets whatsoever. And I'm good with that. And she's good with that. So we're going to keep it going.
How about like a side salad or something when you go out to eat? Have you stayed away from the fruits and veggies?
So what's funny is, like, if we're in Colorado, her parents live in Colorado, so we'll order the sides to go and bring the baked potato and the salad to her mom and dad. If we're at home, we'll get stuff for the dogs, and the side will just go to the dogs. But no, we don't eat it at all, because they're going to charge you for it anyway.
Yeah.
When I usually go, I usually end up saying, no sides, and they have a hard time dealing with no sides. So finally, just like, okay, bring fries, and I'll just give it to my son. Or
yeah.
I'll usually.
Sorry, I was going to say, we feel so different. It's amazing. And what's interesting is, I'd say the last 3 weeks, we kind of got stuck on a plateau. And we're like, man, we're just stuck. It's you want to see that scale move all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So we kind of got stuck. Well, then I realized it's because I'm not actually eating enough.
Mm.
So when I upped how much I was eating, the scale moved again. And with us, you know our schedule, Rick. I mean, because we get off like at 6:30 and in the evening, and you go home. If you ate dinner, then you go to bed within an hour, and it's just sitting in your stomach. So we don't actually eat dinners. We haven't eaten dinners in a long time, for like probably 5 or 6 years. So we just have breakfast and lunch. That's it. And we're good with that.
Two meals a day.
Yep. And we're never hungry. So I usually eat at 6:30 in the morning and at 11, and that's it. Then I'm done for the day.
So what is one of those? What do your typical meals look like then?
So at home, usually breakfast is eggs, bacon, and sausage. Pretty much consistent. Sometimes we'll have it in like we'll mix it all together, like put it in the oven. Yeah. Or sometimes it'll just be fried eggs, or sometimes it'll be scrambled eggs, stuff like that. For lunch, it's either a chuck roast, which we love. We'll cook for like 7 hours, or hamburgers, or a steak, or some type of fish, either halibut or salmon. And then every once in a while, we'll throw in some shrimp. At work, it's always the eggs, bacon, and sausage for breakfast. And then typically it's hamburgers for lunch, because that's pretty much all they have. That's just a meat dish. Every once in a while they have shrimp, or they might have something else. But I was eating like 3 burgers at lunch, and now I have to move it to 5.
Yeah.
So
are they like quarter-pound patties or third pound?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and how many eggs usually?
Like at work and here, if I'm just having fried egg, it's 3. I know I probably should have more, but I typically have 3.
Yeah.
We do eat a lot of bacon.
I'm usually like 5 strips of bacon and and 6 eggs, 6 to 7 eggs, depending on how I feel in the morning.
Yeah.
And then for dinner, I'll have a big old 20-ounce ribeye, or 5 or 6 burgers, or
right.
So you definitely have to eat enough. And the closer you get to your goal weight, and Rick and I are finding this, because I think we're both kind of within 10 pounds of where we originally wanted to be, that last 10 pounds goes really slow.
Yeah. I've been struggling for a long time with the plateau myself. And so I started working out a couple, I don't know, 2-3 months ago. Actually, before that, I started walking early on, but then I actually started hitting the weights, doing some resistance training. And that seems to help sometimes, but then I feel like I plateau again. And I don't know if that's because I'm building muscle, what I need to do really, I have the tape measure right here. I should be taking measurements at this point.
Well, we did it before measurement, so that helped us a lot too when the scale doesn't move.
Mm-hmm.
And so, are you still seeing a difference in?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In measurement, even though your weight might not go down.
Yep, we sure are. And so what I typically do is I do push-ups every morning and I do squats to help my knee. And then at work, I have a bike at my desk. It's a little under the desk bike. I use that. And then I go down to the gym and I do some weights. And then when I'm at home, because we run that match, that shooting match, this long distance, setting up a match, I'll probably walk 4 miles. So it's all in the canyon, so it's all not easy walking, right? And we're at 7,500 feet anyway, so we do a lot of exercise in.
So are you looking forward? Are you trying to get back out for big game season this year? Or
I can't. I got to do the other knee in October. I wish.
Oh no!
Oh shoot!
Well, you have to kind of plan it for the end of the year. So, you meet your deductible and all that. And, I wanted to shoot the matches during the summer. Mm-hmm. So I kind of planned it for October so I'd be able to shoot during the summer. So, yeah, I got to wait 1 more year before I can get back out.
Yeah.
For the hunting.
One thing you'll notice, it's surprising how much easier those hikes are. When Rick and I went last year, we really hadn't done a whole lot of exercise to speak of, but all of a sudden we were hiking in way deeper than we ever have before, just tackling things that we used to shy away from, frankly, but now we're, it's really nice. And I think, even just doing this alone is probably going to make your knee feel better.
100%.
You don't have to worry about the inflammation.
Right. And like when we do the matches and stuff like that, we have 2 hills that we have to climb up all the time. And when I'm in a match, I have 60 pounds of gear with me. So going up and down those hills, we used to call it was never fat man friendly. And it's still not fat man friendly, but at least you can get up and down the hills pretty easy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I started at 265 and I'm at 223. And I think if I look at all the markers and stuff like that, it says around 185 is where I need to be, even though from high school on out, I was like, 200 plus. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let my body take me where it thinks it needs to be.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about it.
I started out around 265, and I think 205 is probably about a really good goal weight for me. I have one of those scales that measures your body fat content.
Mm-hmm.
And even judging off of that, if I get down to about 205, that'll be about 15% body fat, not too low, but not too high. So,
right.
What's that?
I was just going to say your video locked up for a second there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You guys, drink any bone broth or eat any liver, anything like that?
Yeah, we have a video where we had Doug shot a decent buck last year, and so we cooked the liver up. Well, we prepped the liver that night and then cooked it the next day. So we have a video on that. And the bone broth, yeah, I do. I just picked up a bunch of bones from my grocery store. I don't know if you're familiar with Heritage, Gene, the Heritage supermarket in Eaton. And so I just picked up some bones with the intention of making some bone broth. And I just made some summer sausage and picked up a bunch of pork fats to make that with. So yeah, we've got a lot going on.
So I saw.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, my wife's not a big fan of the taste of liver. So we saw a video where they freeze it and then thaw it somewhat and then cut it into small pill-sized pieces and then refreeze it. And then they just swallow it like a pill.
Swallow it raw. Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah. That's what we're going to be doing, is swallowing it raw.
And something else I've seen too is where people will blend it in with their hamburger and you don't even notice it's in there. So I was actually considering possibly doing that this year if I'm successful. I mean, we have a pretty good track record, so I'm not too worried about it. But
Yeah,
I may do that this year. It's just have the butcher blend in the liver with it.
Yeah, that would be good.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and going back deer and elk hunting and stuff like that. That's the one thing that I look forward to is, eating the liver and on a wild game, getting to do more of that and stuff. And I love wild game meat, so it'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely. The one downside is I am craving the fat a lot more now.
Oh,
so, I actually made an elk steak the other night, and it was like, I couldn't get enough butter on it.
Yeah.
Well, we use that Kerrygold butter, and we put it on all the meat.
Yeah.
We just, especially hamburgers.
Yeah.
We definitely put it on there and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
What about? Are you making your own tallow and all that?
Yeah. No, we haven't done that. When I had the cow processed, I bought, it's part of the package where I got a huge package of fat. So what we've done is we've put it in the air fryer and crisped it up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, but I mean, like before, it's kind of funny. Before you'd eat a steak and you'd always have a little bit of pieces left over, the fatty pieces. Not anymore.
No. Yep. I know.
Yeah, I love the taste of it.
Yeah.
I really love the taste of the fat. And I mean, especially with the chuck roast. Oh my God. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree, man. It's like, because of what we've been taught for so many years that fat and red meat's going to kill you. And it's turned out to be a complete lie.
Right.
It's probably
everything
the best
you've been told. Just
you.
do the exact opposite.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's because if you're sick, you're not feeling well, you have rich doctors. If you're feeling well, you have poor doctors.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's your since you've started this, what's your pantry and your refrigerator look like? Did you throw away a bunch of stuff?
Oh God, yeah. So it's weird because we have so many empty cabinets now.
Yeah.
In the fridge and the freezer, and the outside freezer is just stocked full of meat and fish and stuff like that. And it's like we haven't touched a bowl. We don't use bowls or anything like that. Spoons. It's different. It's so different. But it's great. I mean, it's I wish I could get everybody to try it for at least 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Try it for 30 days and see how you feel, because I never really was a big believer in brain fog or anything like that. But boy, when you change and you feel the clarity that you feel.
Yeah. It is. It's there's so many ailments that you have that you've lived with it for so long. It's just a part of your life. Right. And then when you get into this lifestyle, like, oh, my brain fog is gone, and you can just think clearly, and oh man, my shoulders and my elbows don't hurt anymore, and my hands. I mean, it's just, you're right. It's just been amazing.
Yep.
So,
100%. And I can't. I've seen some people who've cheated. And then they're like, oh man, I felt like crap for a week. I had headaches, I had stomach ache, and I'm like, why do that to yourself? It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I'd rather feel good.
Yeah. Early on, because I started June of last year, and so it was kind of right before hunting season, and then so when hunting season came, because we hunt with our dad too, and he's not carnivore, so we cheated because we had to. I mean, we each take turns bringing up a meal, and we're not going to tell our dad, hey, you have to bring nothing but meat, And so
we need at least a pound of beef each for each meal.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Right.
So So this year will be interesting to see what he does. We may have to have a couple of, hey, what's he like to bring, Doug? What's that? Like the
pepper
chicken?
steak.
Oh, the pepper. Well, the pepper steak's kind of carnivore, except for the peppers.
The peppers, and he puts it over rice.
Oh, right.
Well, you get a silver medal that day instead of a gold.
Yeah. Are you using any spices at all besides salt?
No.
You get
No.
you.
I mean, I use pepper, but I don't use anything besides salt and pepper at all. And I don't eat cheese or anything like that. I stick pretty much to it, and I feel the best doing it that way.
Yeah.
Well,
I agree.
Yeah.
Although I do use.
Question: How old are you guys?
I'm 56.
I'm
Okay.
47.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys got a long way. I'm 63.
Oh, okay.
So, it's try and go as many years as you can, but anymore, if you don't have somebody to go with you, it's pretty tough dragging something out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I as long as my body will let me, I mean, I live for hunting. Yeah. I mean, it's, I love it. Even if I have a bad year and don't get anything, just being outside and in fresh air and seeing all the other critters, man, it's just, there's nothing like it in my mind. It's
the best. We went turkey hunting here a couple of weeks ago, and we got a nice tom, but I have never heard it like this before. So when we went, we were both wearing ear protection that's electronic in your ear, to cut out gunshots and stuff like that. But the amount of birds and how loud these birds were insane. And we were there for like 8 hours, and it was nonstop. I'll send you the video. It's insane how much, because I like getting out in the spring, walk along the river bottom, because, like you, I like being out, like seeing things. But man, this trip was unreal. So
we might put the video on this channel if you're okay with that.
Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, like I said, the video is only like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, but the sound that you hear was like that for 8 hours. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and we got a nice tom. I'll send you a picture of that. So
all right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Any words of wisdom or anything you'd want non-believers to know?
You just got to try it. You just got to do it. If you can, I mean, anybody can do anything for 30 days. I mean, you could, hang by your fingernails outside of a window ledge for 30 days. Come on. Mm-hmm. You got to be able to, give yourself a real shot at it. And a lot of people feel like they have to have bread or they have to have a snack or you don't. You really don't. And the one thing that's amazing is that I'm never hungry. I got to force myself to eat.
Yeah.
Because I'm never hungry on this.
Yeah. I think it was one of the doctors. I think it was Dr. Barry. And he said one time in one of his videos, he said, if you're not hungry, don't eat. And I think that's the trap.
It is.
You fall into with the standard American diet is you're just getting that bag of Lay's and just go to town until it's an empty bag. And I used to do that stuff. But now if I'm not hungry, I don't eat. So
correct. Yeah, that's how I am. And I like that you said standard American diet because it's sad. It's very sad.
It is. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It is really a sad way to eat. And they have completely fooled everybody into eating like that. And man, if you're a meat eater, there's nothing better. I mean, I wish I could explain to people, and you know what else too is the elderly. I wish there's some people who are older that I would really like them to get into this because they're on so much medication. I'm not on any I'm not on any medication anymore. I was taking diabetic medication. I was taking Ozempic, which was, not very good. And I'm off of everything. And it's awesome. I'm not spending money on prescriptions, and I wish, I wish some of the people who are, older would get off all the statins and everything else and just try it, but they won't even try it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's so many people I've talked to that, you're like, just try it for 30 days. And they're like, I can't give up my potatoes, or,
Right.
And the funny thing is, once you get past that addiction, because that's just their addiction talking, is really all it comes down to. Like, I can't even stand the smell of bread anymore.
That's funny.
My father-in-law lives with us. He makes toast every morning, and I come out and I hear it, I smell it cooking, and it actually smells like a fungus to me or something. It's to the point where it really kind of grosses me out.
My bird dog is kind of interrupting the process. He's like,
yeah,
you've been ignoring me for too long.
Is he a carnivore?
You know what? Pretty much. I mean, we still give him dog food, but we've been trying to lean more toward all meat, and especially with wild game. So, you know, there's certain things that we're like, you know what, this has been in the freezer longer than a year. We should give it to him. So, and they love it anyway. So, he'll eat that over anything. You know, he'll take the meat. So. But yeah, he's a real good bird hunter. He's a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Doug, do you have anything else?
No, I can't think of anything at this point.
What about you, Gene? Anything else?
I wish people would watch this and actually try it. And like I said, just try it for 30 days. Just give it a try. You know, and the big thing is, is to take your measurements beforehand, mark down your weight, all that stuff, and then see change. And the scale's great, and it's great when you go down in size, but the way you feel is what is amazing. I can't explain how good you feel. It's amazing, and we used to take naps all the time during the day and stuff. We don't have to do that anymore. We feel fine.
Yeah. Well, we've got 5 watching now, but it'll be up on YouTube. So we typically get quite a few viewers. Our channel's still relatively small, but it'll build some viewership, and hopefully when they do watch this, they'll hear your message and say, okay, I'll give it a try for 30 days.
Yeah.
Because they're not listening to Doug or I.
Nope.
we send the same message.
Yeah.
So
it's worth it. That's what it is. It's worth it. And then you lose the weight, you feel better, you can keep on hunting, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about, man. I want to be able to hunt with my grandkids when they're of age. So
exactly.
Me too.
I'm going to need probably some young bucks pulling my meat out of the forest anyway. So
right.
At that point.
No, I hear you. All right,
Gene. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'll see you at work at some point, I imagine. For the viewers out there, Doug or Gene and I work opposite shifts, so it's pretty rare when we get to see each other. But we still see each other on occasion.
Right.
So
I work the better half of the shift, the day shift.
Yes, you do. And hopefully I'll be there soon. All
right.
I'm dying to get back there.
I bet.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
All right. Thanks.